Hey yo, welcome back to the channel. Today I have something really cool for you guys to show with a very special guest. So if you guys have been keeping up with what's been going on in the community, there's been a tournament called the Crush Card Cup, and it's graciously been hosted by Cimo, who did a fantastic job, by the way. Cimo also commentated replays from every round, so if you guys wanted to revisit any of the matches, including matches with my guest here today, you can go check them out on his channel. So, did you want to introduce yourself?
Hey everybody, I'm Daniel. I'm the Altergeist player that made top 16 of the Crush Card Cup.
Is that it?
Uh, well, yeah. I
Okay.
mean that's
Okay.
who I am.
Okay. So Daniel's actually a really good friend of mine. He's somebody I'm really happy to have on the channel today. He's a fantastic Altergeist player and a fantastic player overall. He does have one flaw, which is he likes to film his deck profiles vertically.
So I played Altergeist.
See,
Best choice.
best choice.
Watch
All
the
right.
wording, man.
But that's not going to be happening today. So, I gotta ask, why did you choose to play Altergeist? Because, for people who don't know, this tournament, for the first, it was 11 rounds of Swiss, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, so for the 11 rounds of Swiss, you could have changed your deck throughout the entire tournament, but you chose to play Altergeist for all 11 rounds, right?
yeah, every single round.
Okay. Why?
So I've been playing the deck for a really long time, and it's just something that I'm super comfortable with.
Mhm.
And I feel like I can I can just play the deck well enough to play around the new decks of Eldritch and Emancipator. And I didn't really like the way Eldritch worked. I didn't like the combo, and it felt like the mirror was pretty cancer.
Yeah.
So I really didn't want to deal with that. And then at Emancipator, I actually really like that deck. Just the thing is, I didn't want to learn a combo deck on Dueling Book.
Uh-huh.
So that's why I stayed away from that. And yeah, Altergeist just keeps proving time and time again it's really good. Like I'll be down one card or two, and like I don't know, I'll just make a comeback with the resources I have, and it's just really good for that.
Yeah. So, I know another deck you play is Block Dragon BA. Is that something you were considering to play too, or no?
I actually was, yeah. I was thinking towards the later rounds if I do well enough,
Uh-huh.
like if I can afford a loss, I'll just play that deck.
Yeah.
Just because the thing is, at Emancipator is like the new Block Dragon deck, right?
Mm-hmm.
I am still messing around with the Block Dragon deck, and I came up with some really cool ideas actually.
Yeah.
Is just the thing is, I just didn't feel confident enough with this deck, especially on Dueling Book, because it would take a really, really long time to do the combo. Like, it takes a long time in real life, so doing it manually on the computer would take twice as long.
Yeah. Okay.
And that's not something I wanted to deal with.
Okay. All right. So, obviously, if anyone's watching this deck profile, they're going to be watching for the obvious spice that you're playing. So we'll get into that after. We'll just start off with the main deck for now. So you played the standard lineup with one Conk, one Multi-Faker, two Silk, three Marionetter, and three Meluseek. Was there anything that you want to change here, or is this like always just a standard lineup for you?
Yeah, it's just the monsters don't ever change.
Yeah.
The one guy who got top A, Pasadena with two Concure, that guy's an absolute madman. But that's not something I would do in the near future.
Uh-huh. Okay. And then your hand trap choices. You played three Ash, and then you played the Gamma package, which kind of surprised me. How did you feel about Gamma?
Oh, I think Gamma's incredible. Gamma was the reason I was able to 2-0 all of my Emancipator players.
Uh-huh. So
And
what did you Gamma exactly?
so the normal summon like Doki Doki or one of the tuners, I would just Gamma that.
Yeah.
Because if so say they summon a tuner and they just use the effect without summoning the researcher, I think, the one that requires any rock, then it means they probably don't have the extenders, and that's the only line of play they have.
Mm-hmm.
And so if you stop that, then they don't really have anywhere to go. And that's, I think, the biggest weakness of Emancipators is that if they don't have their tuners, then if they can't get access to them in any way, they can't do anything.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. Okay, so then you had three Extravagance, which is standard, two Manifestation, two Protocol, two Crackdown, three Spoofing, three Judgment, three Strike. I have to ask, how was Crackdown for you?
So because it was at 2, I didn't really see it that often. But
Yeah.
when I did draw it, it was really good. especially in that feature match. That was really nice there as well. But the reason I didn't want to play 3 was because uh, I didn't want to draw it all the time, especially against Eldritch when they can just Conquistador pop it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it wasn't something I wanted to deal with. But I thought in simplified game states, when we're top decking, Crackdown is still it's incredible.
Yeah.
Like the more simplified the game state is, the better Crackdown becomes, and that's the point of the deck, right? To simplify it.
Yeah, 100%. Dude, I remember at locals, every time he flipped Crackdown against me, holy, it was brutal. Okay.
Yeah, it's really good.
Okay. So now, the thing that everybody is watching for, the NEOS Fusion package. Like, what made you play this? And, like, how did it do for you?
So I was about, I think it was around 8 or so, maybe around 7. But around that time, I was talking with my friend Milano, and he was sharing with me one of his lists, which is like NEOS Fusion Turbo Go Second. It was a pretty cool deck.
Yeah.
And he was telling me, yo, why don't you try NEOS Fusion in Altergeist? And I was thinking, you know what, it might not be a bad idea. So I started to cite it, and then I noticed that I kept taking Nib out very often and just putting cards like NEOS Fusion in, and they seem to perform a lot better. So eventually, we decided that it might be better to just main deck it. So I just took out the Nibirs and the dualities for the NEOS package, and whenever I drew it, it was really good.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and the biggest thing, right, is against Eldritch as well, because it's a pretty rough matchup.
Yeah.
The NEOS Fusion takes away all of their resources, and they can't come back from it. If NEOS resolves and you get rid of all their back row or their entire graveyard, you're winning the game.
Yeah. Yeah. I've seen it happen. It's disgusting. Okay. So your side deck, you were running 1 Pank, 2 Crow, 3 Nib, 3 Sphere, 3 Cyclone, 3 Evenly. Is there anything you would have changed, or would you just keep it the way it is?
Yeah, I think Crow was pretty bad.
Uh-huh.
An issue I came across was, especially against the combo Eldritch, the Synchron version,
Yeah.
I would have too many cards to side in, and I didn't know what to take out, and so it became like these conflicting cards that I was thinking like I'd rather have other cards. So Crow was pretty bad. I didn't really like that. But maybe I might cut Cyclone down to 2 because I never had space to put in the third.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Evenly's in a weird spot because sometimes it's a blowout, but sometimes it's the worst possible card you can have.
Yeah, it's because they set up so many negates, right?
Yeah, and I'm because with Altergeist, you're not really baiting out all the negates and then dropping the power card, right?
Yeah.
So Evenly's in a weird spot, but other than that, it's pretty good.
Yeah. I was gonna ask, is Mystic Mind something you consider playing?
Man, I just don't like mine in general.
Yeah.
Just out of I don't know what the right word is, but I guess out of chivalry, I don't want to play that card.
Okay, that's fair.
But I did play the mine with Metaverse when it was at 3 with Altergeist, and that was the most, without a doubt, the strongest deck I've ever played. Like, it was crazy. So like mine and Altergeist is good. I feel like without Metaverse, it's not too great.
Yeah. Okay. And then for your extra, you were playing 3 Rainbow Neos, which is obvious because you're playing Neos Fusion.
Yep.
3 Hextia, 2 Banshee, 1 Ningirsu, 1 Phoenix, 2 Link Kuriboh, 2 Anima, and 1 Almirage. Is that like perfect for you? Would you change anything?
Oh no, it was great. The Almirage is just there for the Silk manifestation play,
Yeah.
and overall you have 5 targets for Meloseek, so it worked out really well.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So let's go over your matchups. So round 1, you played against Altergeist, 2-1 mirror match. Round 2, you 2-0 Salad. Round 3, 2-0 Dino. Round 4, 2-1 Salad. Round 5, you lost 1-2 against Dino.
I would just like to point out in round 4 when we went to game 3 with Salad,
Yeah.
it was only because I had a game loss.
Yeah.
Because I disconnected.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you about that. So wait,
Yeah.
you just disconnected? That's it?
Yeah, so just my dueling book just kind of froze
Yeah.
and it kicked me out of the game, and so whenever that happens, that's a game loss.
That's kind of
I still consider it a 2-0 because he didn't actually win any games.
yeah. Okay, wow, that's kind of late,
Yeah,
dude. I was hoping for something juicy there. Anyways,
yeah, it
uh,
was super.
so yeah, round five. You lost against Dino.
Yep.
Did you want to maybe go over that one?
Yeah, so Dino is such a weird matchup because it's this just absolute monster
Hmm.
going second deck, playing like a lightning storm evenly, all these cards that just absolutely destroy you.
Yeah.
Um, and so it's so weird because you have to play around it, but at the same time, if you do, then it opens the possibility of them just OTKing you. But something I noticed with Dinos is if if you just stop their OV, they can't really do anything.
Yeah.
It's so often that would just happen. And so, yeah, I was just trying to play smart, play conservative. And so we ended up going to game three.
Hmm.
Uh, and then, yeah, I just drew a Gamma driver and he gave me a lost roll token and I just
Yeah.
couldn't do anything there.
That's really unfortunate.
Yeah.
Okay, so round six, you 2-1 Eldritch. Round seven, you 2-0 Salad. Round eight, you lost to Eldritch. I think I spectated this match. Is this the one where you played against Dylan?
No, no.
Or is that some completely different tournament?
Yeah, that was a different turn. It
Okay,
was
okay.
the LCS.
Okay, so what happened with this one?
So game one, he flipped skill drain and I scooped.
Uh-huh.
Game two, um, he game two, I ended up out grinding him,
Yeah.
and then game three, I he normal summoned border, and I couldn't outer. And if you actually notice, I don't play Imperm in my main deck.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was really hard to deal with, and he didn't invest any cards to his board, so I couldn't even evenly him for any advantage.
Hmm.
And so he just kept doing border beatdown until I died.
Yeah. See, like, but
Yeah.
that's the thing too. Even if you were playing Imperm, like, I feel like you maybe would have sided it out because against Eldritch, Imperm doesn't really do that much.
Yeah, and
'Cause I'm
that's the
guessing,
thing.
yeah, this was a pure version. I'm guessing too, right?
Yeah, because
Yeah.
he had the skill drain borders the whole 9 yards.
Yeah. So that just sucks in general.
Yeah,
Uh,
but he did make top 16, so good for him.
damn. Okay. Round nine. Surprising to see Cyber Dragons making it this far. Maybe the guy switched it up. I don't know, but you won
Oh,
that round as well.
I was completely shocked because this was
Yeah.
my first match on the bubble,
Yeah.
and I do not have a good good memories with bubbles, so
Yeah.
I was pretty nervous. And then I see Cyber Dragon out of nowhere. It was and game one. He just blew me out of the water.
Yikes. There.
And,
Yeah.
but luckily, I ended up taking that one home.
Mhm. Round 10 was against Adamancipator, which was your only Adamancipator matchup of the tournament. You 2-0'd him, so yeah,
Yeah.
that's pretty impressive. That deck is pretty cancer. Uh, round 11, 2-1 against Eldritch. And then, unfortunately, in top 16, you lost to Cody Angelop, who was on Synchro Eldritch. Was this like your first time playing against Synchro Eldritch at that point?
Yeah, that was my first time playing it ever. I had no idea it existed.
Yeah.
And when he started playing, I remember he went Magician Soul, Normal Summon Veiler, and did full combo. And I just did not see that coming. It was ridiculous. Because
And,
I
yeah.
had a really nice hand too. I was thinking good setup, and he played Eldritch. I'm thinking, okay, I have NEOS Fusion for next turn anyway. It's okay. But then he ends on this giant board with 20 cards in hand.
Yeah.
I just couldn't deal with that.
He drew like 7 off of Hyper Librarian, right?
Yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah, it was something else. I think game 2 you made him go first, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah. Is it because you were just unfamiliar with the matchup? You just didn't expect it to pop off that hard?
So against Eldritch, I always make them start because going first, I don't have any real advantage over them.
Yeah.
And then going second, I have access to evenly match and mellow seek. And I also have the extra sixth card, and that's the thing. Well, against Eldritch, it is a grind matchup. You gotta make sure you out resource them at every point in the game. Whoever has more resources, they're winning. That's what you want to try and go for.
Yeah.
That's why I made him start. But and I had enough side cards to the point where I was thinking, even if he does the whole synchron combo,
Yeah.
as long as I draw one of them, I'm fine. But I didn't. So
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, it was unfortunate.
Yeah. Well, there's like nothing you can do against that.
Yeah.
So the one question I just have for you is, would you say that Eldritch is your hardest matchup, or is there like another matchup that we say is the hardest for Altergeist to play against?
Yeah, right now it would definitely be Eldritch, because especially when you're playing against some good Eldritch player, it's really rough. Because a few of them, when I made them start, they just said like one card or so, and it has passed, and they were being smart. They played around it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but in the feature match actually, of round 11, I made him start, and the guy invested almost his whole hand, right? Which I thought was incorrect, because if I had evenly at that point, like, he just auto lost. So
Yeah.
I think it's against like all my matches were like 2 hours long. It was an insane grind. We just kept going back and forth. It's yeah, you cannot misplay at all in that match,
Yeah.
because every play you make counts.
Yeah, because I think it's fair to say that Eldritch is inherently a better deck than Altergeist at the moment.
Yeah. With whether it's turn one push or what it can do, yeah, 100%. Because I remember I'd be playing against it, and I would just start looping my own resources, and he'd have like what, 2 cards on board, and I have 5 cards in hand. I'm like, okay, good. I'm in a good spot. I have over double the advantage. Then look at his grave, and he's got like 20,000 traps, even more spells that he just banishes and replenishes his field.
Yeah, that dude, that deck is, I don't know, like Eldritch and Emancipator, they're both disgusting decks.
Yeah, it's just crazy what kind of resource management the deck has.
Yeah. All right. Well, sweet. All right. That's like all the questions I have for you. That's everything I wanted to go over. Is there anything you wanted to add? Maybe some shout outs?
Yeah, so in the deck, if you noticed, I'm only playing 15 traps, which for our regular Altergeist build is not that many.
Yeah.
But the idea behind that was, especially when the tournament first started, everybody was main decking Lightning Storm and evenly. And even if they were main decking games 2 and 3, they were definitely setting into it.
Yeah.
And so having Gamma and Ash and a lot more monster cards that I can rely on, especially NEOS Fusion, that also helps. I don't lose to these cards as hard, and I'm able to play conservatively at the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and that's another reason why I don't play Imprint, because first of all, I don't think it's that great. And if you have a card on field, you have to set it, which is another card that can just get blown out. Right? I don't agree with the statement where you have to play Imprint, because if you draw Faker with it, it's an FTK. And no, that so that's not a reliable strategy.
Yeah. No, I agree 100%.
Yeah, and then I think that's everything for the interesting part of my decks. But in terms of shout outs, I'd like to shout out all my friends that go to locals, and then my team 401 Games.
Yep.
If you guys are ever in the market for singles, check out 401games.ca and use Team DLR10 to get 10% off.
Jeez.
Yeah, and then of course shout outs to Cimo for organizing the tourney. It was awesome.
All right, that's it.
Yeah, that's everything.
Well, all right, it's been a pleasure, dude. I'd love to have you back on the channel again someday. So hopefully you top something else. Maybe once regionals or YCSs come back.
Oh, once YCSs come back, I'm gonna be on the channel all the time.
All right, man. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.
Peace. All right, so again, thanks to Daniel for coming onto my channel for doing this deck profile. I hope you guys all enjoyed it. If you did, please subscribe, leave a like, drop a comment, and yeah, Bear signing off. Peace, guys.